everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. In the garment industry, some companies are infamous for utilizing cheap labor overseas, but this practice is present even in our city. The U.S. Department of Labor has found many violations taking place in LA and is working with companies, workers, and consumers to make sure the working conditions follow the rules established by law. Take a look.
Exploitation of any workers should be a concern to all of us, and I think of any industry. It just so happens we're focused on the garment industry, the sweatshops in LA, because we've been focused there for quite some time. And what we're finding in that area, people are making below the minimum wage, in one case this time $1.58 an hour. People that are not on the books, they're off the books. People not paid for all their hours worked, no overtime pay. Other exploitations going on, so it's important that they understand that that's happening right here in LA, and it's a real problem for us. Our office is an enforcement agency. Our job is basically to make sure people get paid the minimum wage, have the right records kept, they're paid overtime, child labor. So we have a lot of laws that we enforce. Tenemos casos en agricultura, en construcción, en restaurantes y también en la costura. Tenemos varios casos aquí en Los Ángeles y pueden llamar a nosotros. I would like the Angelenos to understand that they have a responsibility, and there's a social responsibility that comes with buying products, and maybe perhaps working with the brand names, working with the consumers, we could begin to change this industry.
Garment Worker Center has a number of tools and programs to support garment workers in making sure that they're paid fully for their time at work and that their rights are respected in the workplace. We do this through our legal clinic, which supports garment workers who want to file wage theft claims through the Labor Commissioner's office. We have Know Your Rights trainings. And we also collaborate with our labor enforcement agencies, including at the state level with the Labor Commissioner's Office and with the Department of Labor. Globally, garments are made by women and women of color. 85% of the workforce is this group, and so that's the same here in Los Angeles. We know that women in general make less than their male counterparts at work, and that also happens here in the garment industry in Los Angeles. And really, these are the leaders of the industry and the leaders in our community. Garment Worker Center has been a part of a coalition from the very beginning, developing and drafting the legislation of the Fabric Act, which stands for fashioning accountability and building real institutional change. And this legislation is going to really strengthen both the worker rights protections, but it's also going to help increase the government's ability to respond and enforce labor laws.
Si tener temor, sus estatus y migratorias, pueden llamar a nosotros. Si alguien tiene una pregunta o quieren quejar, pueden llamar a 1-877-55-AYUDA.
Around Los Angeles, we've all driven over inconvenient and sometimes damaging potholes. Aware of the safety hazard they pose, the city is dedicating efforts to fixing them now that the rains have stopped, and is also urging Angelenos to inform of their presence to speed up the repair process.
As all of you know, we have seen one intense rainstorm after another this year, but each one of these storms has brought us the water we so desperately need, but it's also left behind damaged potholes, roads all across the city, and mudslides.
Today we're here in the 7th District on Sepulveda Boulevard, where we've announced a proactive strategy to address all the potholes that we have been experiencing on so many streets throughout Los Angeles, but have been affected and delayed in repairs because of the ongoing rain.
And our crew with Streets LA has been undergoing an aggressive, responsive, enhanced effort to address the many potholes throughout our city.
For Angelenos who have hit a pothole on their way to work or school, it's more than an inconvenience. It's also a financial burden. Our city is increasingly unaffordable, and these damages could mean missed days of work and unaffordable costs that create trade-offs at home.
If you incur any damages, running over potholes, you've got a flat tire or otherwise, you can contact the city clerk to file a claim. We are a large city, of course, and we can't get to everything proactively. Download the 311 app. We really need your help using 311 to tell us where those potholes are.
According to data from 2022, about 6% of the homeless population in our city are veterans. The newly inaugurated Casa de Rosas will offer permanent supportive housing for homeless veterans who will also receive career resources to help them find a job to support themselves and their families.
I'm just so honored to be here to be with you as we celebrate, right? Casa de Rosas.
The councilman had already expressed a vision to do something for veterans, so we pulled together a group, a focus group of veterans. It turns out that all of them had been homeless with their children, and they worked with us for 6 months to talk about what was needed, not just another place. They had no place to go, and we want this to be that place for them.
This is very beneficial, not just, it's just a good place to be in. And when I heard about this here, I couldn't believe it. And no one I talked to about this place, they don't believe it until they see it. And when they see it, they still can't believe it. It seems like unreal, but it's real.
Each person that moves here has an opportunity, once they're housed and settled, to talk about their vision. Most of them still are able to be employed, and most of them still want careers. So yes, it is our vision. Some have not been in the employment world for a while. To hope and dream is the start, and then to have the resources to help them realize that future that they want to see for themselves and their families.
And we hope that these businesses will coach and then employ.
Yes.
We want these folks to get gainful employment, and we think the opportunities are here to make that happen.
The joy that I feel every time I watch somebody receive housing is just immense. And what I do believe is that it's going to take all of Los Angeles coming together to get this done. And so the partnerships that you assembled to get this project done is just an example of what we need to see happen all over our city.
Stick around to learn about how the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority is addressing the current homelessness crisis. Betty F. Day was an example of generous community spirit. During her life, she cared for those in need in her neighborhood of Watts and would organize gatherings at the Pocket Park on Grape Street. To honor her unique contributions, Council District 15 has renamed this park as Betty F. Day Park. Check it out.
Today we are in Watts. We are on Grape Street, and we are at what used to be called the Grape Street Pocket Park, but today we've rededicated it and renamed it for Betty F. Day.
Betty brought truth, honesty, and caring to this community. She spoke truth to power. She advocated on behalf of everybody in this community, no matter who they were. And this park was one of the places that she was able to dispense her particular brand of love and care. She helped to feed people. We had family events here. She's so deserving. She cared for this park. She cared for the Watts community. And I'm just honored to be here to celebrate that within a year of her passing.
What a great honor. I mean, we should have a Betty F. Day in all of our communities to kind of unite and really bring community together to do great things. So I'm really proud to be here representing the department. A lot of the community members would like to see additional programming here, and I'm going to be working with them to try to help add additional programming for the youth of this community, as well as all the other members of the community that use this facility.
3, 2, 1. Hard. It is wonderful to have so many important folks in the community come on out. We had activists and engaged persons in the community that came out today to celebrate Betty Day, and I know that we will enjoy this park for our children for generations to come. So this is now the Betty F. Day Pocket Park on Grape Street.
The LA Regional Small Business Legal Aid Program offers free help to qualifying small businesses. The 33rd annual Great LA River Cleanup is looking for volunteers, and the restaurant El Cholo gets an intersection dedication. These stories up next on City Beat.
The Economic and Workforce Development Department, EWDD, wants you to know there is free legal help available for LA small business owners. The LA Regional Small Business Legal Aid Program offers free legal education and representation to qualified small businesses affected by the pandemic. The program provides assistance on issues such as drafting and reviewing commercial leases and contracts, landlord negotiations, law advice, and more. The legal aid is administered by EWDD in partnership with the County of LA Department of Economic Opportunity, BetZedek, and other local associates. To learn more about the LA Regional Legal Aid Program for small businesses, go to ewddlacity.com. Councilwoman Tracy Park invites Angelenos to celebrate Earth Day by participating in the 33rd Annual Great LA River Cleanup. Volunteers can learn about habitat restoration, take nature walks, and enjoy river education activities in addition to a traditional river cleanup. In 2022, over 50,000 pounds of trash was removed from the LA River, preventing it from reaching the Pacific Ocean. The event is hosted by Friends of the LA River, FOLAR, and is scheduled through April 22nd. It will feature 7 site opportunities with locations on the upper, middle, and lower river on each date. For more information and to volunteer, go to folar.org. Founders of the popular restaurant El Cholo were celebrated with an intersection dedication by the LA Department of Transportation. The Alejandro and Rosa Borquez Square commends the founders on El Cholo's 100th anniversary with signage at Western Avenue and 11th Street. Originally named Sonora Cafe in 1923, the name was changed in 1925 to El Cholo, coming from a customer's drawing on a menu. Councilwoman Heather Hutt sponsored the event and was joined by the 90-year-old grandson and great-grandson of the founders. The dedication also included an announcement by El Cholo of a $1 million fundraising campaign to fight children's cancer. For more info on events in Council District 10, visit cd10.lacity.gov.
For Diabetes Awareness Month, we talked with Dr. Hussein Yassin from the Keck School of Medicine at USC to learn about the 2 types of diabetes there are. He explains how they impact our health and the simple yet effective steps that we can take to prevent type 2 diabetes, which can appear later in life.
Diabetes is a condition where you have high blood sugar. And it consists of 2 types, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes is often when the pancreas stops making insulin. It's often diagnosed at an early age, and patients will require insulin for life. Type 2 diabetes, on the other hand, is when the environment, such as obesity, stress, lack of physical activity, causes insulin not to work. And as a result, the blood sugar is increasing. The most common cause of type 2 diabetes is a poor diet. And a poor diet is typically a diet that's rich in simple sugars, like soda, cakes, fast food that's packaged, processed. The weight gain associated with this poor lifestyle will eventually end to type 2 diabetes. Early symptoms of diabetes are burning sensation, tingling in the tips of your finger, tips of your toes. It could be fatigue. As diabetes advances, it starts damaging the tissues and the organs. So you get kidney injury and kidney failure. You can get retinopathy and blindness. You can get heart disease or heart attacks. So it's a spectrum. And this disease can last decades before it gets to the end stage.
We currently have a new study called Diabetes Brain in Dr. Yassin's lab, and we are researching the link between diabetes and dementia. We're particularly focusing on the Latino population because they have a higher prevalence of diabetes and they're underrepresented in research.
For Diabetes Awareness Month, we do have to understand that diabetes is very common. Depending on the population, it can be as common as 10%. 1 out of 10 has diabetes. So it's very important to go get tested. Simple blood check of your blood sugar at a pharmacy, a clinic, a nearby doctor's office. And if you were diagnosed with diabetes, starting early is very critical because you can afford yourself a lifelong of healthy lifestyles that can prevent the diabetes complications. Once diabetes complications develop, it's much harder to treat.
For any participant that's interested in joining our study, you can go to our website at uscbrain.com. We also have a study number that is 833-USC-BRAIN. We would love for you to join. We have many spots available, so please feel free to reach out if you're interested, and we hope to speak to you soon.
Many traffic accidents can be avoided if drivers keep their eyes on the road. For April, National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, the Automobile Club and the Los Angeles Police Department have teamed up to alert people of the dangers of using their phones and other forms of distraction while driving.
April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, so the Auto Club is teaming up with the Los Angeles Police Department and California Highway Patrol to remind drivers about how dangerous it is to be distracted when behind the wheel.
Distracted driving, obviously a big issue nowadays on the roads. As California Highway Patrol, it's one of the big factors that cause a lot of these collisions. So we just want to remind people to stay off the phone, and also not just the phone, but all types of distractions to avoid these incidents from occurring.
In a city that I can't stress enough that averages more than 1 fatal traffic collision a day, it's more important than ever that we talk to the public about safe driving, and this is one of those important aspects about safe driving.
There are so many distractions that are out there on the roadways. People are eating on their way to the office, grooming themselves in the mirror. But the true triple threat is texting while driving, because that takes your eyes off of the roadway, it takes your hands off the steering wheel, and it takes your mind off of what should be the most important task at hand, which is focusing on the road ahead.
We're losing too many people, and especially children, due to careless driving, distracted driving. I'm here because I was a victim of a distracted driver. Distracted driving is something people need to be aware of and take seriously. If they can't think about themselves or what they're doing, think about families. Think about their own family, how their own family would feel if they got hit. Take it out of themselves and think of other people. Maybe that would help in some way. As distracted driving is killing too many people, and it's avoidable.
The Auto Club recommends that you use those driving focus features on your smartphone, which limit the texts and incoming calls while your vehicle is in motion, or put that phone out of reach so you're not tempted to grab it and use it. Ask a passenger for help to make a call or send a text message. Program that GPS before you ever leave your driveway. And finally, speak up. If the driver of your vehicle is distracted, say something. It could save their life, could save your life.
To get all the information you need about this LAPD-supported initiative and many more, visit lapdonline.org. What better way to solve the problems in a community than by asking the members to participate in finding solutions? LA Repair, which develops projects to improve the quality of living in Los Angeles, welcome residents from the Watts community to vote on what projects they'd want to see funded. Check it out.
Today here at CII in the beautiful community of Watts, and we're here with the LA Civil Rights Department announcing the kickoff of election season for LA Repair, the opportunity for participation in equity budget.
We are delighted to be here in Watts at Children's Institute to vote on participatory budgeting options for communities in Los Angeles. We couldn't be more excited to have people from the community, particularly those communities that have been wronged by institutional racism. The money is going to community-based organizations that are trusted partners that are able to stand up services that are asked for and demanded for by the community. So it is going to be community implemented work, and it is going to yield results for communities that have been wronged for so long.
I grew up here in the 1-5, went to school here in Watts. You know, there's a lot of different issues about food insecurity, mentorship, a lot of violence and drug use, all the things that are like much deeper systemic issues, but we have to start somewhere. And I think this gives us the ability to say, how do we want to start in dealing with many of the issues that I know are happening in the community? But ultimately, you know, they will be the ones deciding what is the most urgent need for this community.
It is so important for folks to become informed, to understand what the projects are, and to vote, because participating in any process, but particularly in a budget process, is the way that we empower communities, the way that we give agency to communities themselves and give themselves an opportunity to make decisions about where equity happens and how they want to improve their communities, family by family, block by block.
In this week's feature story, our own Ann Police sits down with incoming CEO of the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, Dr. Lecia Adams Kellum. The doctor discusses the homeless crisis and the importance of taking immediate action, including multiple approaches to achieve the desired results. Let's hear this story.
Dr. Lecia Adams Kellum is the incoming CEO of the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, appointed by unanimous vote in January. Welcome, Dr. Lecia. We're glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. You've seen the homeless situation kind of ebb and flow, go through changes.
The streets just didn't look the way they do today when I grew up. And honestly, it's been really sad to see the erosion of our community, the growing number of people who can't afford rent and to have a home that they feel safe in. It really has changed. And it's quite sad to see the amount of human suffering that's out there every day. It has inspired me to want to do something and to make a difference. And as the mayor has called this a crisis, we have to do whatever it takes. We have to scale, we have to move swiftly, we have to stay up late, we have to work through the weekends, we have to do whatever it takes to make a change. And we have to do it now. We start off by really canvassing the encampment and connecting with people, determining their interest in coming indoors, and most say yes, I will tell you that. And then we determine what level of support and services folks will need. We set up a zone-by-zone approach, especially if we are tackling several streets at a time. And we let folks know that we have resources and that we're going to support them. This isn't just about a motel stay. It's about a change for them. It's about a change in their lives, and a permanent housing resource is attached to that work. And so, yes, we have case managers and what we call navigators, and folks that help people secure the documentation that they need to secure a lease. And we begin that important work of connecting them to permanent housing almost from day one.
We wish you nothing but the very best of luck in your new job, and hope to see you back here again soon with some positive updates that I know you'll be able to bring.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Attend the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium's Grunion Fish-Tival. Bring your family to the Music Center's 44th Annual Very Special Arts Festival, or participate in the Earth Day Chalkfest on the LA Waterfront. All this up next on Things to Do.
The LA Department of Rec and Parks invites you to the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium for the Grunion Fish-Tival. Each spring, thousands of little silvery fish partake in a strange mating ritual under the SoCal moonlight. Female grunion wash ashore to lay thousands of eggs, then simply float back to sea in the next round of waves. During this special evening at Cabrillo Marine Aquarium, you'll be able to hatch grunion eggs, participate in grunion arts and crafts, and see classic grunion videos. After all the fun activities, everyone will head to the beach to see these enchanting fish. The Grunion Fish-Tival takes place Friday, April 21st, starting at 8 p.m. at the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium in San Pedro. For more information or to buy your tickets online, go to cabrillomaриneaquarium.org. The LA Department of Cultural Affairs wants to celebrate the artists and all of us with the Music Center's 44th Annual Very Special Arts Festival. This free one-day festival is made up of dancing, singing, music, and magic in downtown Los Angeles. At this very special arts festival, families can enjoy art-making workshops and performances by experiencing and interacting with the arts. The festival features student and professional performances, visual and performing arts workshops, and a student art exhibit. This unique series is open to the public and encourages the artistic achievements in people of all abilities. Don't miss the Music Center's very special arts festival, Saturday, April 22nd, starting at 11 a.m. in the Jerry Moss Plaza at the Music Center. For more information, log on to musiccenter.org. Come down to the Port of LA to celebrate Earth Day with Chalkfest on the LA Waterfront. Grab your chalk and draw your own Earth-themed masterpiece along the Paseo Promenade. Create biodegradable art, take home a desert succulent plant, and participate in all the springtime activities the Waterfront has to offer. Earth Day was first celebrated by a core group of environmentally concerned Americans in 1970. It has since grown to be an annual event celebrated worldwide, bringing awareness to all types of conservation efforts around our planet. Join the millions of people who celebrate Earth Day at the Earth Day Chalkfest on the LA Waterfront, taking place Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check out the Community tab at portoflosangeles.org for more information. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.